Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan, and well, it's probably the first video that I've done in a while. My next two videos that I did over the summer are coming up next, so be aware for that. I'm still editing them. Today will be a new series, and this new series is about debunked creepypastas. Sorry, I meant to say creepy lost episode creepypastas. Today, I just want to take a look at a creepy pasta lost episode named Squidwards Suicide. I don't know. I don't watch SpongeBob anymore. But I like one of the characters. His name's Squidward. Here. And, well, I seen a creepy pasta named Squidward Suicide. I just wanted to debunk some parts of this episode. Okay, first of all, this is pretty fake. As you can see, many people are complaining that's the most fakest thing they've ever seen. But let's expose this for a minute. First of all, it says I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005 for my degree in animation. So he was a Nickelodeon intern for Nickelodeon Studios. That's normal. In 2005 for my degree of animation. Okay. You go to college for that, but hey, I am not going to be complaining about that. Let's read it over it again. To adults, it might not seem like a big one, but most kids at the time would go crazy for it. Well, I mean, not every kid wants to be an intern at Nickelodeon Studios to get a degree in animation. So, that's where you got wrong. Let's continue. Now, since I work directly with the editors and animators, I got to new episodes days before they air. No, you didn't. If you work directly with the editors and animators, you'd know that they don't give you nothing. Not even if you work closely with them. They may let you view clips, but they won't let you view episodes before they air. Now, let's continue. I'll get right to it without giving too many unnecessary details. Note how he says that. Unnecessary details. When you say you won't give any more information because of unnecessary details, you're literally saying that my story was faked. Please don't say it's not fake because all that stuff was unnecessary. Because everyone knows that most of the stories they read off of the internet say unnecessary details. And why do they say it? Well, it's because of the fact that most of the time they're lying. The details they say are not necessary because it will expose them right out of the flesh. Let's continue. They had very recently made the SpongeBob movie. Yeah, that was over a year ago. And the entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity, so it took them longer to start up the season. So they were sapped of creativity. Think of what season 4 was all about. Think of all the episodes that came out in season 4. And here, I will look up season 4 of SpongeBob. Because usually when they say season 4 of SpongeBob, they're literally going to be lying. The only reason why it took longer, and he is correct, but the reason why it took longer was because they were switching from pen and paper animation, like one cell animation. Sorry, it was not pen and paper, it was one cell animation. They were switching from that to digital art animation. And when you switch from one art to another art style, they get most viewers confused because they don't know what they're talking about. So now, let's continue. But the delay lasted longer for more upsetting Get this, upsetting reasons. When something is upsetting reasons, you most likely see stuff on Google. They say for upsetting reasons. I'm not saying that he was not an upset reason. Now, there is an image I want you to view, and you can basically tell this image is from Photoshop. Because this was also called Red Mist, but that was clearly fake. This one is Squidwards Suicide, and that title card, the title card you're seeing right now, that's fake. No one would have ever had that much creativity to make that much of a title card. I believe the title cards have much different art than what they normally do. And usually when it's a darker episode, such as One Course Meal, or I'm thinking here. Let me get to this. Or Pet Sitter Pat. Normally they choose the darker colors because it represents a sadder story, like this is doing. But you can clearly see that the writers aren't even trying. This is not the font of any SpongeBob episode I've ever seen. Let's continue, because that's probably was 2005 and they couldn't know. Me and 2 other interns were in the editing room along with the lead animators and sound editors for the final cut. We received the copy that was supposed to be Fear of the Krabby Patty. Okay, Fear of a Krabby Patty. I'm currently right now looking stuff up here and seeing when stuff was available and seeing, okay, May 6, 2005. So this was Fear of a Krabby Patty. Literally, all it was about was Dr. Peter Langton, who is actually Plankton. But I'm not going to go over here. And gathered around the screen to watch. Now, given that isn't final yet, animators often put up a mock title card. Sort of an inside joke for us with phony, oftentimes lewd titles, such as How Sex Doesn't Work instead of Rockabye Bye Valve. Yes, we all know. I'm currently looking stuff up here. I'm seeing if they're actually real. Okay, that's not what I was looking for, but let me see. Rockabye Bye Valve. So what was it called? Well, it was a episode in season 3 made in 2002. And hold up, I'm still trying to look at this. Rockabye Baby. Which was the title card? This is title card, by the way. Okay, I'm still looking this up here, so sorry if it's probably wrong. Still looking stuff up here. So here's the time cards. Tomorrow for sure, eventually at 12 o'clock midnight. I'm still trying to get this about it. I don't actually see the title card, the original title card, but when I do find it, let me know. But I really don't think that the creators would put such a lewd joke in a kid's show. Like, I don't see how they would try to make inside jokes for those interns. Sex doesn't work. That's pretty stupid. when SpongeBob and Patrick adopt a sea scalp. Nothing particularly funny, but work-related chuckles. So when we saw the title cards for Suicide, we didn't think it was more of a joke. Why would the creators create something like Squidwards Suicide? If they were animating, why would they have the title card Squidwards Suicide? Tell me. One of the interns did small throat laugh at it. The happy-go-lucky music plays as is normal. Okay, that's normal, since normally in one-course meal that happens. Story began with Squidward practicing his clarinet, hitting a few sour tones like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside, and Squidward stops, yelling at him to keep it down, as he has a concert that night and needs to practice. SpongeBob says okay, and goes to see Sandy with Patrick. I really do think that this is all about other crap that's going on, because I saw those in other episodes of SpongeBob. I normally see this little line of paragraph. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of that so I can put this in the video itself. You're probably gonna see this. So I want you guys to see if these words describe other SpongeBob episodes. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves. I wonder why that happens. But the sound doesn't. The point sound is synced up with animation, so yes, it's not coming. But when he stops playing, the sound finishes as if the skip never happened. There is slight murmuring in the crowd before they begin to boo them. I saw this in another episode. Nothing happened. Not normal cartoon booing that is common to the show, but you can clearly hear malice in it. Malice. Aren't they just booing like normal? Squidward's in full frame and looks visibly afraid. Okay. I see this in another episode. With SpongeBob in the center frame and these two booing. Why would SpongeBob boo at Squidward? That isn't the oddest thing though. So everyone has hyper-realistic eyes. Hyper-realistic eyes. When anything is hyper-realistic, it's not real. Hyper-realistic is not even a word. Now, it may be a word in some people, but hyper-realism is not something you'd find in a SpongeBob episode. And when you see anything that's hyper-realism, it's fake. Why is it fake? Well, because if we look up hyper-realistic eyes, we can clearly see in these images here's how hyper-realistic eyes look. And soon, you're going to go ahead and see an image of fake hyper-realistic eyes. I will cut some parts out of this video just to save your time. Actually, no I won't. This will actually be one of the least edited videos in the world. So take a look at the eyes they're trying to portray. Now this is the image. So let's continue, shall we? Very detailed. What a very nice argument. But even if it is very detailed, I do not think that SpongeBob would ever have anything hyper-realistic. Because normally that is mostly common in art. Where it is. Clearly not shots of real people's eyes. Okay, if that is the case, take a look at the fish. In Squidward's Suicide. Take a look at the fish. In Squidward's Suicide. Okay, I haven't found any image of the fish. Oh, there it is. Look at his eyes. That is not hyper-realistic. When anything is hyper-realistic, it is fake. This is not even hyper-realistic. This looks hyper-realistic, but is it? Take a look at this. I will put something in the beginning that says, do not watch this video if you're under 18, because that's clearly scary. Something a little bit more real than CGI. Okay. How would they have to animate that in if it was realer than CGI? The pupils were red. When someone describes the pupils being red, I have gotta say it's fake. Hyper-realistic eyes cannot be red. No matter how much you try, hyper-realism is not dots of red and a dot of black. Now, yes, it may have been hyper-realistic in the original tape, but we don't know that because they haven't showed it on YouTube yet. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused, but since we weren't the writers, we didn't question its appeal to children yet. The shot goes to Squidward sitting on the edge of his bed, looking very forlorn. The view out of his porthole window is a night sky, so it isn't very long after the concert. The unsettling part is at this point there is no sound. When someone says no sound, it is of course the most fakest thing in the world. All animation has sound. If it doesn't, then you probably turned on the mute. Literally no sound. Not even the feedback from the speakers in the room. It's as if the speakers were turned off. Though their status... Hold on, let me go take a picture of this. I may get that messed up, but okay. Showed them working perfectly. You just sat there blinking in the silence for about 30 seconds. Sorry about that. Then he started to sob softly. He put his hands, tentacles, over his eyes and cried quietly for a full minute more. All while the sound in the back room was very slowly growing from nothing to barely audible. It sounded like a slight breeze through a forest. The screen slowly begins to zoom on his face. By slow, I mean it's only noticeable if you look at shots 10 seconds apart, side by side. His sobbing gets louder, more full of hurt and anger. The screen then twitches a bit, as if it twists on itself. For a split second, then back to normal. The wind through the trees sound gets slowly louder and more severe, as if a storm is brewing somewhere. The eerie part of the sound is Squidward's sobbing. It sounded real, as if the sound wasn't coming from the speakers, but as if the speakers were holes, the sound was coming through from the other side. As good a sound as the studio likes to have, they don't purchase the equipment to be that good to produce sound of that quality. Really? Sounded real. I don't think an animator would have real sounding sobbing. If they did, they probably cried themselves on set. Below the sound of the wind and sobbing, very faint, something sounded like laughing. It came at odd intervals and never lasted more than a second. So you had a hard time pinning it. Watched the show twice. So pardon me if things sounded too specific. Wait. We watched the show twice? If you watched it twice, then why would you say your experiences from the first time? Not that I am having a problem with it, but if you watched it twice, you would literally just, after the first time, you'd be just confused, crying in your bed at night, not wanting this. So, after 30 seconds of this, the screen blurred and twitched violently and something flashed with the screen. So the lead animation editor paused and rewound frame by frame. What we saw was horrible. It was a still photo of a dead child. 6. The face was mangled and bloodied. One eye dangling over his upturned face popped. Wait a minute. How is that real at all? Like, if you put a photo of a dead child in animation, you deserve to freaking die. Why would an animator do this? The face was... Okay, I already read that. He was naked down to his underwear, his stomach cruelly cut open and his entrails laying beside him. Some pavement that was probably a road. The most upsetting part was that there was a shadow of the photographer. There was no crime tape, no evidence, tags, or markers, and the angle was completely off for a shot designed to be evidence. It seemed that the photographer was the person responsible for this child's death. We were, of course, mortified, pressed on, hoping that it was just a sick joke. The screen flipped back to Squidwards, still sobbing, louder than before in half body and frame. There was now what appeared to be blood running down from his face, from his eyes. The blood was also done in, yes, we got it again, hyper-realistic style. I mean, as if you touch it, you get blood on your fingers. The wind sounded now as if it were that of a gale blowing through the forest. There were even snapping sounds of branches. The laughing, a deep baritone, lasting at longer intervals and coming more frequently. After around 20 seconds, the screen twisted and showed a single frame photo. The editor was reluctant to go back. We all were, but he knew he had to. This time the photo appeared to be a little girl, no older than the first child. She was laying on her stomach, her barrettes in a pool of blood next to her. Her left eye was popped out and popped, naked except for underpants. Her entrails were piled on top of her, another crude cut along her back. Again, the body was on the street, and the photographer's shadow was visible. Very similar in size and shape to the first. I had to choke back, vomit, and one intern, the only female in the room, ran out. The show resumed. About 5 seconds after the second photo played, Squidward went silent, as did all sound, like it was when the scene started. He put his tentacles down, his eyes were now done in bada bing, hyper-realism. Oh, wait a minute. Probably didn't catch the end, but whatever. Probably didn't care. Okay, there we go. Like the others in the beginning of the episode, they were bleeding, blood chop. The 3 words of a creepypasta you always see in every creepypasta: bleeding, bloodshot, and pulsating. You always see that in a creepypasta. He just stared at the screen as if it were watching a viewer. Okay, I've seen that before. After about 10 seconds, he started sobbing, this time not covering his eyes. The sound was piercing and loud, and most fear-inducing of all, his sobbing was mixed with screams. Tears and blood were dripping down his face at a heavy rate. The wind sound came back, and so the deep voice started laughing, and this time the still photo lasted for a good 5 frames. The animator was able to stop it on the 4th and backed up. This time the photo was of a boy about the same age. This time the scene was different. The entrails were being pulled from his stomach, one by a large hand. The right eye popped and dangling, blood trickling down. The animator proceeded. Maybe but the next one was different, but we couldn't tell. He went on the next same thing. He went back to the first. I think we have our first spelling mistake, don't we? Yep, that's our first spelling mistake. Want instead of went. Back to the first screen and played them quicker and I lost it. I vomited on the floor. The animating and sound editors fast up. 5 frames. So there were 5 different photos. They were played as different frames from the video. We saw the ants slowly lift out the guts. He even saw 2 frames of the kid beginning to blink. We had Don editor told us to stop. He had to call on the creator to see this. Mr. Hillenberg arrived within about 15 minutes. He was confused as why he was called down there. So the editor just continued the episode. Once a few frames were shown, screaming all sound against odds. Squidward was just staring at the viewer, full frame of the face, for about 3 seconds. The shot quickly panned out, and the deep voice said, "Do it. Do it. Do it." Sorry, I'm trying to sound like Squidward here. But when you hear "do it," you literally just want to go ahead and be scared. And we see in Squidward's hands a shotgun. He immediately pulls the gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger. Realistic. Realistic. Holy crap. How many more words? Realistic blood and brain matter. Splatters the wall behind him and his bed, and he flies back with force. The last 5 seconds of this episode show his body on the bed, on his side, one eye dangling on what's left of his head above the floor, staring blankly at it. Then the episode ends. Mr. Hillenberg, obviously he's got to be angry. What the hell? Demanded to know what the heck was going on. That was the first time. I thought he was going to swear for the first time. Most people left the room at this point, so there was just a handful of us to watch it again. Viewing the episode twice only served to imprint the entirety of it in my mind. It caused me horrible nightmares. I'm sorry I stayed. The only theory you could think of was that the file was edited by someone in a chain from the drawing studio to be here. The CTO was called in to analyze what happened. The analysis of the file did show that it was edited over by new material. However, the timestamp was a mere 24 seconds before we began viewing it. All equipment involved was examined for software and hardware as well as glitches. As if the timestamp had been glitched and showed the wrong time, but everyone checked out fine. We don't know what happened to this day, nobody does. There was an investigation due to the nature of the photos, but nothing came of it. No child was seen to be identified, and no clues were gathered from the data, nor physical clues in the photos. I never believed in unexplicable phenomena at first, but now that I have something happen, I can't prove anything about it beyond anecdotal evidence. Yes, the next word we don't even know. I think twice about things. You can tell that read these categories. See something funny, it says memes. So literally, if it was a meme, you would obviously believe this is fake. Let's see it. Oh my god, that is the most unscary thing I've ever seen. Let me take pics of random people. Here's one comment. I literally don't know what's worse. The overuse of hyper-realistic or just the actual fact that this is a creepypasta based off of a kid's TV show. Yeah, pretty much. And, well, oh my god. Dear Creepypasta Wiki admins from the story of the Troll Pasta Wiki is over. Please welcome here from a full shame. And let's go. Let's just do it. There's another episode named Are You Happy Now? That is the literally same thing implied, but it was on TV. And it did no reuse hyper-realistic. And of course, yeah, this has no evidence whatsoever. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that last episode, and I have a bunch of editing to do and a bunch of stuff to throw away. To throw in the trash, by the way. Thank you all for coming. I hope you have all a good time. Don't overstay your welcomes and don't act stupid.